Welcome to Elliott's PT podcast. I'm here to help you find your balance and live your best life guilt-free. I don't believe there is a one-size-fits-all approach for health and fitness. We're all different and we need to find out what works for us. I'm passionate about helping people make realistic, long-term lifestyle changes that they will stick to and they will take with them forever. I don't believe in crazy diets or short-term fixes. We all need to live and find a perfect balance in diet and exercise that suits our individual needs. I want to help you find your exercise mojo, feel great and achieve wonderful things. Here is Elliott's PT podcast by Renae Elliott. Hello and welcome back to Elliott's PT podcast. So today I wanted to talk about finding your why and why your why is so important. This was, I guess, inspired from my class this morning, actually. We're doing a Tabata class. So the class is Tabata. You are meant to be, it's a HIIT class. So truly understanding the definition of HIIT, it's less than 30 minutes. You need to make sure that you are working at a higher intensity. So your heart rate should be should be up near the top levels we want it up to be, near the maximum capacity, because we're working for a short time and then we're resting. So there was two ladies and they're doing the class and they were being able to talk through the whole thing. So that means, to me, when they could talk through the whole session, it means that they're not working hard enough. And it's not a matter of pushing people, but it's really understanding why you're there. So that kind of inspired me for this. So you're in a class for half an hour. I know the social side of it is a great aspect, but if you are wanting to get a result and then you're wondering why you didn't get that result, but you talked the whole class, then it's kind of giving you a reason. So when I think it's important to understand your why, and to know what your why is and what is it, and how you can make sure that it inspires or invigorates you. I think understanding your why also helps with if a lot of people talk about motivation and they feel like they're lacking their motivation. Well, when I understand that we have dips in our motivation, but I don't rely on motivation to get me there or to get me a result. Motivation is, I guess, what kind of gets you started. There's times that we're more motivated than the others, and I accept that. Personally, that's how I work with it, but I have habits and I make sure that I keep my habits up, and I keep my habits all the time. So I have habits, and there are other times where my motivation is at a high and there's times that it's at a low, but I try to maintain my habits. So why do I think that you need to define your why? Your why is that internal motivator. The other thing that inspired me to talk about this was my husband. He was talking to me and he was telling me that he had just discovered this, what's your why? And I was kind of like, I talk about this all the time, but you obviously don't listen to me, but they need to hear things from other people. So it was good because he'd never said he'd never heard it before. And so once he had, discovered it, it made him think a little bit deeper. So the why is, it makes you think what you truly want out of life, and how you can make sure that that's the thing that makes you working towards something. So it's really important. I believe it's really important to define your own personal why in life. We all have a deep motivation that fuels our life in the grand scheme of things. And if we keep questioning why you do things, you will eventually find your own personal why in life. So there's something that deep down is motivating us to do stuff. So why do you join a gym? Why do you choose to run? Why do you ride a bike? Why do you read a book? Why do you, and the things you do, that there is a deep motive. Why do you go to university? Why do you choose to do things? Because there is an internal motivator that is inspiring you or getting you to do these things. So the more questions. So how do you actually find out what your own why is? I think it's by asking yourself, I believe it is by asking yourself questions. So the more questions you ask yourself, and sometimes we need to ask ourselves this repeatedly, and digging that little bit deeper is when you can start finding out what your own why is if you don't know it. So, you ask your things, why do I do this? Why do I value one thing over the other? Why am I not happy when a certain thing happens? What causes me to be stressed out? So asking yourself and continually asking yourself, you'll keep coming up with the answer. And generally the answer is almost always your why in life. And the why is, I guess, the things that pushes you forward. When you can understand your why and understand how it makes you feel, it can also, you can understand what things maybe make you unhappy. So we can feel unhappy if the situation you're in isn't aligning with what your why is. So it's really important for me. A big motivator for me, or a big why, is because I want to make sure why I exercise or why I do the things I do is because that I want to make sure that I age well. So my belief is the older that I get and the fitter and the stronger that I can be, I feel that I'll be able to face anything that life throws at me better, or I'll be able to cope with things better because that I have fitness and strength and those things behind me. And so that is my real driver, and me understanding that is why I exercise daily, why I make sure that I weight train, why I make sure that I eat healthy. So I eat a nice, well balanced diet because that why is really important to me, and I feel that if I do all these things, this is aligning with my goal, and it's aligning with my goal to be as fit, as strong for as long as possible, and age as well as I can. So that is my internal why, and that's a big motivator for me. And when I'm always thinking about, I don't need challenges or anything like that to get me motivated or to get me doing things. I know that that's my end goal. I don't need to be a bodybuilder, or I don't need to be running marathons or getting gold medals, and none of that really interests me. It's not really, that's not aligned with my why. I just want to stay active and fit and healthy and be able to lead a good quality of life. And no matter what I'm thrown at, whatever happens to me or is thrown at me, I feel that by being fit and strong will help me. So that's my why. And that's why I make sure the things that I do in life align with that. And so if things aren't aligning with that, then it does make me unhappy because it's my belief system, and I'm not lining up with that. So the more that you can think about, dig deep, let's say lots of people, their why might be their children. When you work out what your why is, then have a think like, are you actually, if your wife's your children, are you spending time with them? Are you doing things, what are you doing? So you need to just, think about when you realize what your why is, and is your life aligning with that? And maybe if your life isn't lining up with that, it could be partly why you might feel unhappy, or you might not feel satisfied, or, but it's just keep asking yourself those questions, and you might have to ask yourself a few times, but dig that little bit deeper and keep asking yourself the questions. So why do I do this? Why do I value one thing over the other? Why am I not happy when this happens? Why does that make me unhappy? Or why am I stressed out? So kind of keep asking yourself those questions. So lots of people's why can be, some examples are, that was my why, is to lead a healthy and fit life, to be as strong and that's possible for whatever life throws at me. But it can be about success, success in a job, or success financially. It can be to leaving a legacy. providing for your family, feeling loved. Could be about finances, fortune, having a positive impact on the life of others. So they're just some examples of why. There can be a combination. There's no right or wrong. It's only what's unique to you. But the more you find that is when, the more that you find out what your why is, the more that you're going to be able to make sure you're living your life aligned with that. So as I was saying, is what I guess made me really think about this morning is these two ladies were talking in the class, which is totally fine. They're doing the class this morning, but really they weren't really putting in any effort. They weren't putting in much effort for what a Tabata class is. They weren't working towards that level that they should be. And and maybe it's because that they've lost sight of their why, and it's important to think about it and to keep it in front of center all the time, to be reminding yourself, this is why I want this. So yeah, I want to meet my friends and have a nice chat and all that, but I also want to get, I'm in a class for half an hour. I want to get the most out of it so that I'm still aligning with my reason for being here. So how do you not find your why? Well, you don't find it by just sitting in the chair and somebody else telling you what your why is, or you don't find it by just copying someone else's. You need to it's unique to you. There is no right or wrong, but you need to dig deep. And if you copy someone else's, you're not going to be motivated to stick to it or to go along with it. You need to find out what is the thing that's driving you. And we need to, in order to really find out your own why, we need to start really digging deep into your conscious mind. And and how do we dig deep? By asking yourself those questions. Just keep going to answering those questions. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of how you could ask these questions. I'm going to just ask three questions, and you could ask these questions for yourself. And but I'm going to give you answers to them, but they're just fake answers, okay? But it will just give you an idea. So the first question would be, why do I work every day from 7 till 5 p.m.? So why do I work every day from 7 till 5 p.m.? So somebody could answer this, that they could answer is because I need money in order to do the things I value the most. So this is telling me that their career really has nothing to do with their why. It's the money that's giving them the things to do. Giving them the things. It's giving them the money to do the things they want to do. All right. So, but again, yours is unique to you. So why do I want to work every day? Why do I work every day from 7 till 5 a.m.? The next question is, what do I value the most? So what do I value the most? So the question was, what do I value the most? So they want to live a happy life and be surrounded by people whose life I have a positive influence on. So I would then, like we said, we want to start digging deeper. So when we're starting to be digging deeper to find out more, that your why is not usually connected to like one single factor. It's usually bigger than that. So I'd be then asking the question, why do you want to have a positive influence on the world? So then they could answer it with something like, I've been given an opportunity in my life that not a lot of other people have got. I've been given a great upbringing. I've got good people around me, and I've been given a great education, and I don't want to take these things for granted, and I want to use this opportunity to give back to the world. So see, we've dug that little bit deeper to find the answer as to why, to see the true meaning of their why. So the last question that I would be asking is, why is this important? So, so why is these things important to me, or what is important to me? And when you realize your why and we think more deeply about it, you're most likely to be happier in your life when you're living your life that's aligned with your purpose. So when we're living that way, and we are going to be more satisfied, you're generally happier. And I guess the whole goal, my goal for everybody, is to be able to feel happy and comfortable with their body and themselves and just live a happy, fulfilled life. So when we are digging deeper into finding out our whys, a lot goes into your belief system and what your belief systems are. Now, this is something that we do. Finding your why and digging into your belief system is something that we do as part of the Little Black Dress Project, because we're trying to really get you to understand yourself more. The more you can understand about yourself, the more you can make sure that you're doing things aligned with what works for you. Like I said, there is no just one size fits all. It's always about working out where you're at and what works for you. So when we understand what your belief system is, and it's understand that your belief system can be shaped from your experiences in life, your family, how you've been brought up, different things that you've been through. And a lot of times our belief systems have been shaped by our life, and they are not always true. They're just experiences we've had that then we've made perceptions we've then made into what we think is reality. So, and your belief system is an invisible force behind your behavior. So with other factors such as your personality, genetic setup, your habits, your belief system is one of the strongest forces that affects any decision you make. So the communication style you use and the way in which you react to anything in life is all influenced by your belief system and any aspects of behavior. So think about, if you've been in a relationship and somebody had hurt you in an old relationship, you're going to be very cautious coming into another relationship. If somebody did something in a first relationship that you were in, and then when you come to a new partner, you may have triggers from that old relationship, and that's all about those belief systems, or I think your experiences. So as humans, we do accumulate thousands of beliefs throughout a lifetime. Our belief system does come from a lot of the environmental side of things, and then we gain a lot of them through experiences or things that other people say, and things that we hear, things that we read, and external influences that we're exposed to. So you probably all heard of that nature versus nurture debate, which is if human behavior is driven primarily by genetic factors or from the environmental behaviors. The ultimate goal of any belief system is to ensure human survival and the passing on of your genes. You want to understand your belief systems because, again, you want to be aligned with them, and is the beliefs that you have, is that aligned with working towards your why or your main motivator in life? So this is not just, we're wanting to dig deeper than just a, that's why, like the Little Black Dress or anything I do it doesn't end. You're part of it for life because we want to be able to find something that you can live with. It's not a challenge. It's not something that ends in a certain time. It's something that goes on forever because that's what we want. So you want to be understanding your core beliefs, and they are at the very center of your own self sense of worth. Those beliefs, they're so central to who you are that putting them into question would mean that you even start questioning who you are at the core of your being. So there's different, there's different cultural beliefs, just ways that we have been brought up or experiences we've had. So when we have our belief system is maybe disrupted, it is giving you a good chance for growth. And if you're ever in a stage in your life where you might feel lost or confused or anxious, it could just be because that your belief system is restructuring itself due to things that you've experienced. So again, there's nothing set in stone. Things change to how our life is, but understanding what your beliefs are, what is your core beliefs, and how that is influencing your life can help you understand yourself more, to really be digging deep into finding out that why. So yeah, for most people, this belief system is like an invisible force that's influencing their behavior without them even noticing. So without them noticing, and the more that you become aware of your beliefs and how they affect your behavior, you can consciously start shaping how your belief system develops, and your behaviors and habits will follow. Some examples of belief systems could be the only way to be successful is to go to university. You have to work really hard to earn money. You have to have no sex before marriage. Another one is, a GP doesn't have as much credibility as a naturopath. So that's just some examples of belief systems. So the more that you understand what is your belief systems, do they align? You know, sometimes you might have things that are you aligned with them? And then when you really work out your why, are your belief systems and your why will come together. And then it's thinking about, are you living your life that way? So, you know, as we are coming into a new year, lots of people start thinking about, you know, they have New Year's resolutions and all of this other stuff. And, you know, it's really working out how this aligns with you, and this aligns with your why and your belief system. If you are choosing things that you want to do in the new year, but it's not aligning with those things, then you're more likely not going to stick to it. So the more that you can understand yourself and what works for you and understand what that deep motivator is. I remind myself constantly of what my deep motivator is, which is my why. Is I want to be fit and active and as strong as I can to lead the best life possible, and whatever hits me, I will feel that I'll be better to cope with it. So I remind myself of that all the time, and that is why I do things. There's days where, yes, I cannot be bothered. There's days when I'm tired or days I don't feel like it, but I just quickly give myself a reminder and I go, you can do 20 minutes, just get up and do it and move on. And that's what I want for you. So there's no right or wrong. It's whatever is your motivator in life, whatever is your deep why. The more that you can work that out and discover what your deep why is, then you can make sure that you're living your life aligned to that. And everything else, new behaviors, new habits, and all that will all fall into place when you truly understand yourself and you understand that you are living your life that way. I'm going to love yous and leave yous at that today. I hope I've given you something to think about, and if this has been helpful, please make sure that you share it to somebody else that you think could help, and make sure you let me know how you go. If you've been able to work out your why or rethink about it, I would love to hear. So please make sure you let me know. I'm going to leave you, so have a great day, and I will speak to you all soon. Thanks for listening to the Elliott's PT podcast. I hope you have been able to find this information of use to you. If you know someone who might enjoy this podcast, please share it with them, and ensure that you subscribe so you can be the first to know when new podcasts are released. If you have the time to leave a 5-star review, that would be amazing, and it would be greatly appreciated. If you do so, please screenshot and share onto any of our socials and tag us. Then email the screenshot to hello@elliotspt.com, and we will send you a free gift to your inbox. Thanks so much. Have an amazing day. Speak soon.